Good afternoon, I'm Jacob Small.
And I'm Cody Maxwell.
Today we're going to talk to you about special use airspace.
Special use airspaces are airspaces regulated by the U.S. government in the federal
Aviation regulations.
These airspaces are
Meant to restrict or prohibit the use of civilian aircraft.
Yeah.
That's it, we cut.
Ron.
Prohibited areas. You can't fly through them because they're prohibited. These kind of areas include Capitol, the White House, and Camp David. You definitely can't fly through them, whether you're VFR or IFR, unless you're an emergency, because they're prohibited.
Restricted areas are what he said about prohibited areas, except not all the time. These include activities such as aerial gunnery and artillery firing.
ATC will reroute all IFR traffic around these hot areas. VFR traffic not in contact with ATC. Take it back.
Are expected to not go there. Yeah.
Temporary flight restrictions. These are restrictions that usually go into place around accidents, incidents, or other areas that would cause potential for harm of aircraft to aircraft or to people on the ground. These areas where they would put up temporary flight restrictions include fires, floods, earthquakes, or other spots where there would be large groupings of people, like the Super Bowl or some shit like that.
FAA will notify pilots by issuing NOTAMs. NOTAMs will then be distributed to the ARTCCs and the ATCTs and the FSSS.
Flight service stations.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody tells everybody when there's a NOTAM for a TFR out.
Special flight rule areas are areas of highly congested traffic and complicated airspaces. These areas have special rules that pilots must conform under FAR 93 or be subjected to penalty.
Execution!
Good job.
Warning areas. They're a lot like restricted areas, but over international waters. And because they're in international waters, there's no country that can tell you can't go there. So that being said, you're probably going to get shot down and die because they can do stuff like missile testing and gun runs and other kinds of crazy shit. So while you can go in warning areas, I wouldn't go in a warning area. Just saying.
Military operation areas, or MOAs, designated under flight level 180. This is where typical military low-level flight training happens. You are permitted to enter this airspace if you want to die by an A-10. Yeah.
Military training routes. It's pretty common for military pilots to have to go through high-speed, low-altitude combat training maneuvers, and this makes it difficult for civilian and military pilots to see each other. This is where the Department of Defense and the FAA have partnered up and created these military training routes. They're often depicted on VFR nav charts as IFR and VFR routes, and damn, there's military. Oh, yeah. So then ATC usually doesn't separate this traffic because it's usually lower than what the altitude for reserved for IFR flights or these federal airways are.
An alert area is basically a civilian equivalent to a military operations area, or otherwise known as an MOA. WHEW.
controlled firing areas. This includes activities that, if not done in a controlled environment, could be hazardous to passing aircraft. These activities would be something like artillery firing.
Fire in the hole!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! These activities aren't actually depicted anywhere, but the people on the ground who are firing the artillery usually have radar or other sort of ground-based thing that makes them aware of passing aircraft. Once they notice these passing aircraft, they halt operations until the aircraft is gone, and then they resume. This is pretty much only affecting low-altitude aircraft because, well, artillery can only go so high. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk on controlled firing areas. Wow. National security areas are areas where enhanced security of ground places is required.
These places include nuclear power plants and dams.
This concludes our video presentation. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.